Think I go down to Venice Beach, bury my head down in the sand. Think I go down to Venice Beach.
Yes, ma'am, and then we'll go back to
Okay, I have something for number 9 and then back to 8. Number 9, same question I ask every month. In June 2010, yeah,
Last
these years ago.
Last summer?
Yeah, last summer. We met with the Department of Public Works and to talk about the CBS outdoor, the privatization of Venice.
You do like this one.
I didn't say I hate it. You know, the kiosk, there was information kiosks they want to put up.
Where would these kiosks be?
They're all over Venice, they're just not on the boardwalk yet. They say they have movies, they have advertising for movies. They get CBS Outdoors, it's called
Who do
CBS.
they pay to put those there?
They get billions of dollars, and then they
Who's
give
they?
it
That word on that.
CBS Outdoors. 'cause the
CBS gets
movie-
millions, and do they pay anything to have it on public streets?
No.
So it's free.
Hang
If we're
They
getting
on.
put
millions of
up
dollars,
like
I'll
a
take it
Yeah.
for the city.
Hang on.
Hang on.
Thank you.
All right, so at that meeting, all right, so CBS Outdoors is they want to put them up on the way from the Palisades down to San Pedro. They want to put them up on the coast. So they're trying to call it non-development. If it's development, then the Coastal Commission will probably not give it, not allow it. So that meeting was in June, and the decision, the committee said, okay, the city attorney has 60 days to make a ruling. So I ask Arturo every time, because I don't want them sneaking that in.
Yeah.
Right. And I know the last time we talked about this, I believe before the holidays, we went ahead and put you in contact with Lance Oshie at our street services.
That's
and they
my
said they're
next door neighbor, right?
Yeah, they're not reviewing anything at this time.
Okay.
Because to answer your question, it was actually a citywide contract, a 20-year contract
Right.
that was approved in 2001 or 2002 with CBS Deco. And they are the ones that, yes, they do these advertising and bus shelter projects throughout the city. The city gets revenue for it, so the city doesn't pay anything for it. But yes, she's correct that there was a request from Public Works to be able to bypass the Coastal Commission permit development process. But that is on hold because the contract is now on hold. Because what has happened, and this was actually brought up as a result of some of our neighborhood council members bringing this to our attention, that there was an emphasis on getting these projects, these advertisements, in high trafficked areas, of course, rather than an even distribution throughout the city. So there's a hold on that contract because even though, let's say for example, Venice gets more of this what's called street furniture, and let's say CD12, which is in the valley, gets less of this street furniture, each council district is going to get the same amount of money.
Right.
So that's the problem with the contract. The councilman is coming from the context, wait a minute, if we're getting the bulk of the advertising, then we should get more of the money. And then that money, what it can be used for is everything from graffiti removal to street cleaning projects to you name it. It does come in handy, but all of it's on
Maybe
hold.
we can work with them a little bit and say, instead of these kiosks of just pictures and information, take one of the pergolas that people just piss and crap all over and graffiti, and have them take that whole thing and beautify it. And they can have their own little advertisements there, but they can maintain it, because we're not maintaining it. Our city's not maintaining it. I mean, it's sad, and that's part of Venice history, just being flushed in the toilet. If CB11, or whatever's it called, CB8? CBS could take it and then do something beautiful that we approve that has some advertising there. No, you don't like that? Shaking your
I
head?
don't want to talk about it. I'll talk about it. We can go on
Let me
and
ask you
on.
a question. Do you like the way the little pergolas look now?
The pagodas.
The little pagodas, do you like that?
The one on the end of my street is very nice.
Do you like the other ones though? Because I know you probably look after that one.
I do.
Do you like the other ones on the Would you ever
I
sit?
like,
Let me strike that. Would you sit at any of them besides yours?
is this a question or?
No, I'm just asking.
I think they are at least architecturally
I agree.
aligned to the ocean front, whereas these steel,
I don't like this.
commercial looking, they're 12 feet high.
I agree.
They're ugly.
But I'm saying, can we work with that company instead of just throwing them to the curb and getting rid of them? hey, can we figure out a design that maybe we could benefit and help the city not have to maintain these little areas that we're not maintaining now?
I have a history of not trusting them, because one week it'll be,
Well, we have a
it'll be an
contract,
ad,
but
it'll
the
be something to help, you know,
We have a
oh, drive
contract.
safely, and then the next week,
Again,
someone holding
yeah.
a gun.
That
But
conversation.
that money will go to help gang violence, right?
That conversation.
I think you're making stuff up now.
Yeah, that
Excuse
conversation.
me? In front of
could
Venice
occur.
High, there was a movie, a one for a movie ad with a guy holding a
I think
gun.
that's not good, you're right.
The
But
conversation
maybe
could occur, but as I mentioned, the contract is
Right.
on hold
Okay.
because there's no even distribution either way.
Right.
And CBS also has it on hold too because they see that it's also unfair in reference to being able to get their advertising out there.
And it was mentioned about the
once all that
bathrooms
is
too, they were
clarified,
gonna do some with the bathrooms.
that
Same
that
thing.
money and that advertising aspect could be included to restrooms, things along that line. But again, it's all on hold for now and it's all indefinite.
Yeah.
So definitely
So I mean,
stay on top
so
of it.
nothing to worry about.
You never let me.
I wouldn't say that.
Bring it up every
Yeah,
it's supposed to
just
be
wanna-
60 days.
It's something we need to stay on
Film
top
that
of.
they never let me speak this long.
We need to stay on top of it. Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Yeah, who would I contact regarding having the boardwalk clear of dining tables and people coming out from their merchant storefront and coming out into the public?
That's Office of
Area.
Public Safety.
That is?
Yeah. you can
Okay.
call 311.
There's a big mural in an eyeglass.
The Grand mural?
It got taken down though, right? They took the banner down.
But how? I just want to say, there was an RX Opticals banner they hung up like right at the mural. I don't like messing with people. I didn't want to go into the store and say, that's, you know.
Great.
not- So I first I emailed Arturo and he said dial 311. So I dialed 311 and they gave me an inspector. I had to give him 1 month to come out. But in the meantime, the artist, Emily Winters, just went to the owner of, this was his approach, she went to the owner of the building and said, can you tell the optician?
Nice.
We had fun with little emails like how short-sighted of him. So
Very good.
anyway, yeah, he took it down.
Very good.
And then
There
I
you
called
go.
the inspector and said,
There you
don't
go.
even have to
The
come.
task force work? Yeah. We're on number 10, so are there any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
And it may sound rhetorical, but it's not, and I'm happy to have follow-up discussion if it's civil. I would like for you to consider not calling a meeting for the next 2 or 3 months. And I would like for you to consider adjusting those who are invited to attend this meeting.
Okay.
But the Brown Act, we can't do that.
It's not.
It's not?
Yeah, Marie, we've had this conversation about how this meeting is operated, and it's not a Brown Act meeting.
And that is
We'll
a
talk
question.
more about that.
That is a question I would like an answer, whether or not you would consider holding off on calling meetings for the next couple of months.
I will definitely consider it.
And consider changing the invitation list.
I will consider calling off the meetings. It is a public meeting though, where everyone is
Well,
invited.
that's the point.
We would get in a situation to where folks would start raising the issue that it's an exclusive meeting then, and that's not what this is. As Mr. Waddell mentioned from the very beginning, this is a task force meeting, and I realize that, especially right now, in light of things with the injunction, that we do go off topic, but there are some productive conversations that occur when we're able to focus on the task force aspect, i.e. identify an issue and we're able to address it, or come back and get status report on it. So I know we would run into major issues if we start going through a list of who can be invited and who should not be invited. But we can talk more about that. Any other questions? No?
When can we talk about it?
We can have another conversation this week if you'd like. You tell me what works for you. You shoot me an email, let me know what times work for you, and we can go from there. Yes, ma'am?
Okay, well, I actually had a different question, but I'd like to, what's the word, is it Renee? Is that what it means to add on to this, what he asked? Okay, you're saying it's not a Brown Act meeting, hold on. But it is a public meeting. You can't tell the public you can't go to this meeting. I want a yes or no.
It's a government-sponsored meeting.
That means you can't say who can come and who can't come, is that correct?
That's what I just relayed. We would run into issues if we started doing that.
Huge issues.
Yeah,
If you tell me I can't come here.
we agree.
Okay.
Other
now,
questions?
Yes, there is. I apologize, there was a reason I was late, and I'm really sorry I had no choice.
No worries.
I was wondering, I don't even see Parks and Recs here, are they?
No.
Okay. there's an issue about the 45-minute rule. This is the point I want to ask you. Obviously, this law, the boardwalk, the ordinance, whatever you want to call it, 4515, is that the name of it? 42 what?
4215.
Okay, obviously, there's nobody in this room that can't say there's at least one thing that don't work on it. Okay? There's not, I can't imagine one person really looking at it, interacting with us, and not saying there's one thing that doesn't work on it. So it has to be changed. And right now, my focus is on the 45-minute rule because it's totally unconstitutional for people that have to use the bathroom, come back, come go. And Parks and Recs is giving us these awful notices saying we could be arrested if we leave our spot. And I mean, that's unacceptable to me. So I'm understanding it from attorneys that I know that the law has to be changed before they can do anything. So how do we change the law?
That's all part of the larger conversation relative to where can the city go with 4215.
So what can I do as an individual?
If you have some ideas.
Can I go to a judge? Can I file something to say I want this change, it's not working?
There's already an injunction on the current ordinance, but if you have an idea, you can definitely share.
Well, I mean,
it
I
with us.
want to follow that the 45-minute rule is totally unconstitutional.
We're making.
File a freaking federal lawsuit for lack of due process.
Thank you, Carol. You're my angel.
Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the folks from PCI, meaning the parking lot management?
Oh, wow.
For the lots that you guys manage, the new signs that went up, I think it was back in August or so, for vehicle size and space in one vehicle taking space and all of that. Is there something specific that your company has as far as exactly all of the rules and ordinances that you have for managing those lots? It's maybe available in a document or online?
To answer the question really quick, we are subcontractors, so we actually don't manage the signs from an iconic property. So that's pretty much the beaches and harbors arena. So we are actually off the picture on that issue, which can be addressed maybe in the next meeting. Or
Okay, so beaches and harbors create the rules and the signs,
Right, yes.
and then you guys manage the lot and
That's
enforce
okay.
it though through your.
through the direction.
Okay.
Who are you, please?
Parking.
Oh, I apologize, I was here late because of drawing.
I can give you the contact before we
Okay.
Do you have a good contact with Beaches and Harbors? Because
Absolutely.
I've tried to help them a few times with a lot over here on North Venice and Pacific because the trees, all the shrubbery has never been trimmed. Never been
On
cleaned.
Venice and Pacific, that's
Venice.
actually a city lot.
Well, that's a city
Yeah,
lot.
the ones on the beach here are county.
Okay.
The
Because
ones
it-
on Venice, Pacific, and Dell,
That's city.
those are city.
City maintains that
Yeah.
because they can't get anybody to help them with the trees. I mean, it's filled with trash. I mean, there's actually drug paraphernalia behind the trees there.
We can talk about that.
Okay. All right. So. Okay.
Any other questions? Any new business or special announcements?
So just to have a vendor-free day on the boardwalk for my birthday.
Called rain.
Just a reminder that the winter shelter, that the cold wet winter shelter is up and running, and some of you might have seen the bus come onto the ocean for a walk.
Two buses.
And pick folks up. That's going to be running until through March 15th. When we had that continuous rain, the shelters were up and running 24 hours, so our facilities are prepared to adjust hours for emergency situations. But again, know that the pickup is right there between 4:45 and 5:15, and then drop off is early in the morning.
One more
Any other
question.
questions? Yes, ma'am.
I need Parks and Recs here, unfortunately, they're not here. I don't know why. But one other thing came up. We are not, and I really want to address this to you, Arturo, honestly. We are not supposed to and not allowed to set up or even be standing or breathing on top of the spots before 9 sharp. Why is Parks and Recs giving the movie people a permit to set up on our spots at 8 o'clock, knowing that we can go to jail, be arrested or ticketed or fined if we even attempt to try to set up before 9? And we're there way before they come, and they come with a flagging, a permit that was given by Parks and Recs, and they set up on our spots and do movies. bouncing us off the spots. What is that about?
Yeah, I'll have to take the question up with Rec and Parks.
Why did that happen?
I'll have to ask them.
But it did happen, it was on YouTube.
Okay, I'll have to ask them.
So my question again is,
I got it.
if you don't allow us to work until 9 and we come before them, and when the police did get involved and Tony Vera came, everybody came, we were told we would be subject to arrest, that they were gonna, and they did set up on the spot. We were bounced out of our own spots because they had a permit to do a movie.
Okay.
Is that fair on our spots?
Park and Rec doesn't have anything to do with that, Maria.
Well, she came and did.
Film LA gives
The Parks and Rec lady
people
that's in charge did come and talk to me.
That's because they put a copy of the permit down in our offices so that we know where these people are from and what production.
But do you understand my question?
I get you.
If you guys
but I'm
don't
just-
allow us to be at 9,
I'm just
how can
saying
the movie?
Park and Rec doesn't have anything to do with
I'm
it.
for you and not against you.
No,
My
I
question-
agree, I'm just explaining.
Question is, if we follow all the rules and they decide to film on the whole block, we get bounced out because they have a permit at 8. Is that fair?
Yeah,
We have the
I don't know
question.
that's fair.
Thank you. Anything else, folks?
Not fair.
Please mark your calendar for a tentative February 2nd meeting,
Does that mean
9:30. But I will let folks know. All right.
2nd or 22nd?
February 2nd, Groundhog Day. Thank you, folks.
Thank you so
Wait.
much.